There's someone in your city right now driving a 9-year-old car, living in a house that doesn't stand out, wearing nothing with a logo on it, and they're sitting on $3 million. 2 streets over, someone else is leasing a new BMW, posting from 5-star hotels, and wearing a watch that costs more than a semester of college. Their net worth is negative. The gap between those two people isn't income. It isn't luck. It's 7 quiet habits, things one person refuses to do, that the other does every single week without ever questioning them. Let's go through all 7. The moment a new car leaves the dealership lot, it loses roughly 11% of its value, before the first payment, before the first oil change. On a $50,000 vehicle, that's $5,500, gone in the time it takes to drive home. Wealthy people know this math, which is why research from the Millionaire next door found that the median car owned by a millionaire costs around $31,000. Not 60, not 80, 31. They aren't cheap. They just refuse to pay a premium for the feeling of new when a 2-year-old version does the exact same job. And the difference, invested over 30 years, can easily cross $200,000. A car isn't a reward, it's a tool, and wealthy people never confuse the two. The average savings account in America pays around 0.46% interest. The average high-yield savings account in 2024 was paying between 4.5 and 5%. On $30,000, that difference is around $1,400 a year for doing nothing except moving money to a different account, which takes about 10 minutes. Wealthy people treat every dollar like an employee. If a dollar is sitting somewhere earning almost nothing, that's a wasted employee. Banks are not passive. They are profit machines. They pay you as little as possible while lending your deposits out at much higher rates. The average person never thinks about this. The money just sits. The bank quietly earns on it. And nothing changes, year after year after year. The simple habit of auditing where your cash lives is worth thousands of dollars. Most people never do it once. This pattern plays out in millions of households so consistently it almost feels like gravity. Someone gets a raise, they upgrade the apartment, get a nicer car, start eating out more, buy the wardrobe they always wanted. 6 months later, they feel exactly as financially stressed as before, just at a higher income level. Economists call this lifestyle inflation, and it silently cancels out most of the financial progress ordinary people make across their entire careers. Here's the truth underneath it. We don't upgrade because we're irresponsible. We upgrade because a raise feels like a reward, and our brain wants to convert that reward into something tangible. But wealthy people have trained themselves to ask a different question when income goes up. Not, what can I afford now? But how much faster does this get me to where I'm going if I change nothing? Someone earning $60,000 and saving 20% builds wealth faster than someone earning $90,000 saving 8%. The income is lower, the outcome is better. Every raise that doesn't become a lifestyle upgrade is a raise that actually works for you. There's a term in sociology called conspicuous consumption. The idea is simple. We buy things not just for their utility, but to broadcast something to the people around us. The watch, the bag, the neighborhood, the hotel we post from. These aren't just purchases, they're signals. And genuine wealth quietly opts out of that broadcast. Research has found that as people accumulate real wealth, spending on visible status goods often decreases, not because they can't afford it, but because they no longer need external validation from it. Meanwhile, the most aggressive status spenders are frequently the most financially fragile. The expensive watch on a negative net worth wrist isn't confidence. It's anxiety wearing a costume. Here's the number that reframes every status purchase. A $300 purchase at 25 years old, invested at 8% for 40 years, doesn't cost $300. It costs over $6,000 in future wealth. Wealthy people see 2 prices on every purchase, today's price and the compounded future price. Once you start seeing both numbers, the decision feels completely different. Think about your subscriptions right now. Not 1 or 2, all of them. Streaming services, food delivery, premium app features, subscription boxes, memberships you use 3 times a year. The average household in 2024 was spending somewhere between $200 and $300 a month on subscriptions and convenience services, many of which they'd forgotten they even had. $200 a month, invested at 8% for 25 years, is nearly $190,000. Now here's the psychological trap. Each individual purchase feels completely justified. $12 for delivery, $9 for a streaming service. None of them feel like decisions, which means they never get evaluated. Wealthy people audit their spending regularly, not obsessively, but deliberately. They treat subscriptions like employees. If something isn't earning its place, it gets cut. The average person hasn't looked at their full subscription list in months. That gap adds up to a staggering number over a lifetime. Early 2021. A forgotten video game retailer went from $17 a share to nearly $500 in a matter of weeks. Reddit forums exploding. News segments. Friends texting each other in all caps. Millions of ordinary people, caught in the energy, the FOMO, the feeling of being on the inside of something, bought in near the top. Within months, it collapsed. And a lot of people learned an expensive lesson about the difference between social excitement and actual investing. Wealthy people are not better at picking stocks. Nobody consistently beats the market over long periods, including professionals. What they're better at is staying out of the noise. No group chats about which crypto is exploding. No portfolio moves based on last week's podcast. A simple, boring, automated plan, and the discipline to not touch it based on how they feel on a Tuesday. The data is almost painful to look at. Studies show the average retail investor significantly underperforms the market, not because they chose bad funds, but because they moved in and out at the wrong emotional moments. Every time they reacted emotionally, they lost the return that patience would have given them for free. The market rewards the boring, the consistent, the people who refuse to let noise become action. There's a doctor earning $380,000 a year. Private school. Expensive zip code. New car lease every 3 years. Dinners, trips, memberships. If her income stopped tomorrow, she'd have 6 weeks before the structure began to fall apart. Almost no investable assets. Every dollar earned is already spoken for, and then some. Now think about a plumber earning $80,000, modest house, paid off, used truck, been maxing his Roth IRA for 20 years. Brokerage account sitting quietly at around $600,000. These two people are not in the same financial position, but the way society sees them and the way they feel to be around is completely inverted from reality. Income is what flows into your life. Wealth is what stays. High income without wealth-building behavior is just an expensive treadmill. The faster you run, the more it costs. But you never actually arrive anywhere. Wealthy people obsess over net worth, not salary, not monthly income, what they own minus what they owe. Because freedom doesn't come from a paycheck. It comes from the pile. None of these 7 things are complicated. None require a finance degree or a high income or some secret investment that ordinary people can't access. What they require is a shift in how you see decisions before you make them. The quiet millionaire 2 streets over didn't get there through luck. He got there through a series of small decisions that looked like nothing from the outside. He didn't upgrade when everyone else upgraded. He didn't chase excitement when the market got loud. He didn't trade his future for the appearance of a life he hadn't actually built yet. And one day, quietly, the math crossed a threshold. The compounding kicked in. And the game was already won, long before anyone noticed he was playing. The question isn't whether these habits are possible. The question is which version of yourself you're building right now.